June season. It's annoying for you, Pisces, I know. It squares you. It's mutable air, Gemini, to your mutable water. Makes you feel like water drops spread out, you know, on the table where it got spilled or on the floor. And if only you were Mercury, the drops would naturally, you know, pull towards one another and become a unified puddle again. But you're drops of water. You just got spilled by mutable air. How do you deal with that? Let's see how you deal with that in Gemini season, Pisces. You cute little puddle. Just kidding. Page of Wands with more mutable energy, a little bit of mutable fire. Sag energy. Okay. So fire will turn the little water drops to fume, to gas. It will vape out in the air to cool Piscean smoke. And then inevitably it will melt back down into a unified puddle. Okay, so what am I saying? Have fun. Be in the moment. Go out. Let life surprise and excite you. And don't overthink things. This will vape you into smoke and melt you back down into feeling whole and fine again. Which by default means you are already whole and fine again. If it's happening in the future and everything is parallel, there is no chronological past, present, future, because that's not how physics actually work, then it's already is. Yay. So you're okay. See, I just fixed it for you. Like that. Don't let the words get to you. Don't let the lack of words get to you. Let the present inconvenience of being split into tons of drops to be an opportunity to explore the different areas of the room or of the table or of the situation or of your place in the world. To explore the different aspects, different corners. A drop here learns about this, a drop there learns about that area. And when you're unified again, you're smarter. You're well-traveled. Well-traveled. Maybe there is a trip, maybe there's a vacation, maybe it's just a little bit of a break of a weekend, going somewhere and just clearing your mind. Going off on a whim, not necessarily planning. Being spontaneous. I think it would be very helpful. Knight of Swords. And then all the words come through. All the people, all the conversations, all the words of the post-Mercury in retrograde is going to come in. And you'll be like, I just turned away. Now, what? It's like, now I'm not prepared for that conversation. Now I'm not prepared for that situation. I was, now I'm not. Now I'm elsewhere. What's with the timing? It's perfect timing. Because that way, your mindset won't be so intensely in it. And this Knight of Swords energy, more air, can't really deal with water, deep water, right? What happens to air and water? It comes like these bubbles. Secludes itself, right? Air secludes itself in water. Doesn't know how to deal. But when you become more up there, out there, in the sky, in the fire, when this comes through, it will work out better. Okay? So the delays of the retrograde pretty much did you a favor. Didn't feel like it, but it did you a favor. Ace of Swords in the reverse. You might want to consider, trigger warning, you might want to consider that you don't know everything about this situation and you don't have the most accurate perspective. And even though you are ready to speak your perspective, it is narrow in its perception. And perhaps that's why you needed this time of like being drops of water spread out, you know, to gain a new perspective, to look at things from other angles. The challenge is the Ace of Swords still came up in the reverse. So maybe this reading is an opportunity for you to remember that when you encounter the opportunity to speak, do it from the newly found perspective, as opposed to remembering everything you thought and felt and just repeating that. Okay? A lot of air and fire here to start a reading for immutable water, Pisces. You okay? Show me more, please, from Piscean seekers. More fire, 10 of Wands. And this is already twice a Sagittarius energy. Some of you are dealing with a Sagittarius. Some of you have strong Sagittarius in your chart. And some of you, it's just the aspect of spreading yourself too thin. Or this person is possibly spreading themselves too thin. Trying to have everything and do everything all at once gets you to nothing. Just gets you exhausted. It's like rowing a boat on sand. And it's too much. Oh my gosh. Okay, sorry. Tons of cards fell. I'm not going to take all of them. I'm just going to take one that fell separately. 3 of Wands, more fire. What up with all the fire? Okay. So this person has a certain vision, a sense of destiny, of legacy that they want to leave in the world. They know what they're meant to do, where they're meant to go. The thing is, it's possible that the ground or the reality is not prepared for that. More needs to happen before they're able to have their vision play out or destiny play out in that way. There's an aspect of, you know what, watch my the gift and curse of being a seer, clairvoyant. It's on my 13th element playlist. How to handle, you know, seeing into the future, but not sabotaging it because you're seeing into the future. Does that make sense? I believe I give the example there of watching a little plant knowing that it will be a tree one day. So climbing on it when it's still just a plant, and then smashing it, and then killing it, and then it will never turn into the tree that you knew it's going to be, because you already behaved towards it as if it's a tree, right? But it wasn't a tree yet. Watch it. I feel like some of you, either you or this person, or this energy, is jumping the gun, is a bit ahead of itself, not because you're wrong, not because it's not true or the vision isn't possible, rather things aren't prepared. Eating the cake before it's baked, you're not going to experience eating a cake, and then the cake will never be baked because you already ate all the ingredients. Weird. I think you're getting the picture. If you know something is inherently yours or to be, let it be, you know? You will have the inclination of when to act in a certain manner, when not to, and things will happen organically. You know, water the plant when you need to water the plant, give it sun when it needs some sunlight, and then let it grow. Otherwise you will sabotage it, right? So the direction is true and good. The behavior is of sabotaging tendency. You want what you want, and you want it now, because you also know it can be. Show us more, please, for Pisces. Wow, the Hierophant in the reverse. I'm using the Mythic Tarot, by the way. Working with the Mythic Tarot. So first, Earth energy. Notice that he's giving him the crown here, and here he's wearing a crown, but he's in the reverse. We also have the Chiron archetype here, the half horse, half man, and we did have a lot of Sagi energy coming through. So something with the wounded healer. Something with the integration of higher mind, lower mind, spirit, body, instinct versus planning. But it's coming through in the reverse. It's almost like, I don't know if it's like extra confirmation for the energy that I've already explained. Of like, yeah, you know the truth, but you're either going about it too fast or in a too demanding like of a way, possibly. Those of you who are super triggered by me saying that you're doing something in a demanding manner, why? Check in with yourself. Why is it so hard for you to, why are you so upset? Okay. Now there's something else that is trying to come through. Hold on. There could be something about like a broken promise, like maybe someone was supposed to deliver something that has to do with this vision or with this direction. They were supposed to play their part somehow, and then they're not playing their part, and you possibly see it as a form of flakiness in the good case scenario, betrayal in the bad case scenario, the worst case scenario. It's almost like but it's still the Hierophant. So if this person is not following through with something, I feel like the guidance is to really be very adamant and vigilant about trying to figure out why before getting upset or before reaching conclusions. Like maybe have a really deep conversation with this person as to, okay, why did you say you would do it and then you didn't? What happened or what caused it? What's behind it, right? Like try to really understand their process, because I think there's something there for you that is of great value. Show me more, please. Some of you, it's undoing with the Ace of Swords in the reverse here, especially. It's an undoing a contract or an agreement, a written agreement, where you change the terms, you change the conditions, you break it. I see breaking a contract, or signing a contract that breaks a former contract. Trying to see if the cards are in the reverse. A lot of them are. Oh. Okay, interesting. A lot of my cards here are in the reverse. Okay, we'll let it be. Things like that for a reason. Oy vey. How did that happen? Did I do that? Do you remember that? With Steve Urkel? Is that the character? Did I do that? Never mind. Okay. Show me more, please. For Pisces, for Gemini season. Maybe you're dealing with a Gemini. For Pisces, for Gemini season, for June. Okay. Ace of Wands, Nine of Swords, and the Hermit. So another ace, this time in the upright. I'm seeing someone that is in such mental distraught and is inflicted with just so much. There's so much on their shoulders, there's so much on their mind. Some of it are real responsibilities, some of it is things that they've kind of taken upon themselves. And it reached a level where it's too much, so they're taking like the hermit, like they're hermiting to find some light in the chaos. I see someone that feels like they lost their guiding light, their direction. The truth is, it's because they're going at it through their mind. But if they were to go at it, or if you were to go at it through the instincts, through the guts, through the will, through what you truly desire, through what you feel in the moment, without overthinking it, right? Without making it bigger than it is, right? If you want to talk to someone, and you want to and need to talk to someone, just do it without overthinking. But how will the conversation go? What if I'll say this? What if they'll say this? And just thinking about it makes it so much bigger than it actually is. And then there's this inability to deal. Now, it can apply to anything. So when you approach it through the mind, it creates such agony and mess, right? The Ace of Swords in the reverse and the Nine of Swords in the upright, as opposed to going at it from the fire of the true instinct and doing one thing at a time fully. And just being honest, not thinking about what the right thing to say is, but just saying what it is, But whoever this is, there's this real difficulty in, like, they're dealing with it alone, on their own. It's in their own mind. And the more they have these conversations with themselves, imagining what the other person or the other entity will say in return, and then what they will say in return, and what they will say, and so on and so forth, without actually having that person saying these things, right? It's driving them crazy. And then because they repeat these conversations in their head, they start believing that something that the other person said in their head, they actually said it, and they start feeling and responding to it emotionally. And it's like, whoa, all of this needs to be just quieted down. You got to burn it out somehow, and in the way that applies. Okay, so instead of having the looping conversation in your head, have it with the actual person. See how they would actually respond to what you say, as opposed to what you imagine that they would respond, and then you feeling in accordance. Right? You're just driving yourself crazy. Find that wisdom of being quiet. And I don't mean being quiet on the outside, but being quieting your mind, not letting your mind take over. Like, not listening to yourself, but listening to the other, right? It's really important to exercise in this coming month, Pisces, listening to the other person in reality, not in your head. Like, to actually read what they wrote, to actually listen to what they say. Go over it. If it was a texting correspondence, go over it. If it was an email correspondence, go over it, reread it. Okay. Anything else, please? Pisces? The High Priestess. You have the wisdom. You have all the truth inside of you. You already know all the answers, but you're letting your mind really play games on you. There's that saying, the mind is a beautiful servant, but a dangerous master. Don't let it. I do see you really going within and trying to find all the answers and all the truth. And when I say that the truth is within you, I meant the truth of the approach to take is in you, not necessarily the truth to everything. Our existence is fragmented, and we learn the truth of our existence by interacting and conveying with others, seeing ourselves through their eyes, and learning from their experience. Because they know something that you don't, because they were there and you weren't, and vice versa. So when you go within to quiet your mind and find the truth, don't let it be, oh, I found the truth to everything, or so I think. It will just be another, once again, your mind is playing tricks on you. Rather, be like, okay, this is what I know, this is what I don't know. How can I open myself up and be heard, but also hear? This type of seclusion can be very, what's the word? Addictive. We get addicted to ourselves, to spending time with ourselves, whether we make ourselves feel good or not good, or it changes. It's just, we get so used to our own presence that any other presence begins to trigger us, because our system has just gotten used to being without. It's not healthy. So I encourage you to find your way through it and out of it. Okay? Now, as for love, there might be something here like underlined, because we do have, interestingly enough, the High Priestess with the High Priest, and they are, they are a match. It's the masculine wisdom and the feminine wisdom. But the masculine wisdom here seems to be in the reverse. And then so what happens is another match comes in between, because the Hermit is also a natural match to the High Priestess. So when the match for the High Priestess is in the reverse, when he doesn't listen to his intuition, when he lets his mind take over, a gap is made, because they're in two different parts of the table, right? And between them, just physically the way the cards came out, is the Hermit. So there might be a gap opening between you and someone, because one of you is just in this mental agony type of energy. And then some other energy might come in between and create even a bigger gap. It could be another person. I'm going to continue this reading focusing on the love portion and the romance portion, and the extended links to the extended are below. It's on Vimeo and on Patreon. I hope to see you there. Thank you for being here. Thank you to my channel members as well. Bye for now.